All right, we're back for a full self-driving beta 11.4.4 2023.7.20. We just got done pickling the ball, and now we are going to get some food, and we're going to try something. Oh, there's a guy. I don't want to run this guy over. We're going to try something different. We are going to engage here in the parking lot and see what happens. For those of you wondering, I played pretty well. Played a friend of mine who's a little newer to the game, a friend and rival in squash where we played fairly evenly, and I just smashed him into the ground today. 5 or 6 games to 0. However, number of games played to 0. So that was fun, and got a great workout in. Really a fan of the pickleball. So here we are approaching a roundabout. Should be able to take it. It's taken it plenty in the past. Stops. So there a human might have probably gone a little sooner because the path was clear. It was obvious that other car was in the turning lane, and then even when that other car started to make its turn, Ego kind of stayed straight. So we've got a left-hand turn here followed by a fairly quick right. So we're going to see, let's see if we can give the viewers a little better of an angle, maybe get you more of the road there. So Ego is staying in the right left-hand turning lane. Last video, the motif was screwing up these left-hand turns when there were 2 left-hand turn lanes. Seemed to actually take that one pretty well. And so far it's staying in the proper lane. We only have 0.3 miles until our turn, so it should not be getting out of this lane. Or it might not be able to get back into it to make our right-hand turn. So let's see, Ego needs to know to go straight here under the light, skipping this turn. Great job. Hopefully the audio is not too loud. I'm playing with mic settings. Alright, Ego got us in the right lane, in the correct lane, which happens to also be the right lane. Look at lovely Dublin, Ohio. And right-hand turn here on green should be pretty easy. Okay, so we've got about another mile before our next maneuver. Speed limit is 40. We are set to go right around there. And let's see. Really nothing to do in this. So one of my favorite features of the car, I've talked about this before, is leaving the climate on when we get out of the car. Right now it's actually a 2-step process. We have to hit this button to bring up climate, and then there will be a button here, keep climate on. That's also where you find the option for dog mode, which they should just name it pet mode, and then also camp mode is there. And I wish they would eliminate those 2 steps. Best step is no step. Well, this is interesting. So Ego just decided to get over. So I'm gonna report that. We're gonna call that a disengagement. Ego just changed lanes under a light at an intersection. Not sure if that is even legal, but it changed lanes under the light at an intersection. Let's not do that again. All right, so that recording is now sent. That was very strange. We'll have to go back and look at that on the tape. Why? I know it needs to make this left up here, I think. Or are we making this left? No, we're making the next left. So it had a bit of room, but it's weird. For some reason, I feel like changing lanes underneath a light is not quite advised, if not flat out illegal in some states. I guess we'll figure that one out. But we made our note, we sent our report in, and ultimately stayed in control. But just getting back to the keep climate on, I'd like to skip these 2 steps of hitting this button and then hitting keep climate on. I wish there was just a way to, maintain comfort. So in the hot months, it just maintains it at 70, 72, whatever your last setting is. And in the cold months, obviously just same thing, but with the heat on. And it could be like Sentry mode. It could, with Sentry mode, our security mode, we do have that option to just keep it on all the time, which I highly advise to anyone who owns one of these cars. But then you can tell it, don't be on at work or don't be on at my house. If you want to save a little bit of battery. With Keep Climate On, you could do the same thing, and you could just say, the default is keep it comfortable. And like Sentry mode, if it gets to 20, the battery gets to 20% or below, it'll just then remove that option. I think that's a pretty easy upgrade for them to make. So left hand turn into a construction zone, just really getting at it here, and seems to be doing fine. I wish someone could answer maybe. So it does not like. So I've got my hands on the wheel, but it just gave me the red double beep. I wonder if someone like Dr. Know-It-All or Chaz Man, Chuck Cook, would know or has ever done any research here. I feel like it visualizes more cones than there actually are, and that seems strange to me. For an advanced AI that's running at many trillions of operations per second, at least that's my understanding, it should just be visualizing the actual cones that are there, not the same cone many times. That just seems like a mistake. And it seems like it's easy to correct, or should be, if you're going to get to full autonomy someday. You gotta be, I want to be blade of grass specific. I want this car visualizing, blades of grass. I want it knowing what everything is. Right now, I know this is our basic setup. It's showing us a stoplight. It's obviously showing us the other cars, the lane lines. But there's a whole world out here, and I do believe that Tesla will obviously probably is already probably running it in shadow mode and testing it out and running it through its neural network, running it through its auto labelers to get pretty accurate. Pole, sign. Here's what the sign is saying. Here's what the sign wants you to do. But yeah, I'm thinking like in the movie Demolition Man, those things could recognize a blade of grass. And that's what I want. 700 trillion, billion, bajillion operations per second or whatever the software runs at. It should not be recognizing multiple pylons, cones for the same cone. One cone on the ground, one cone on the screen. It's not that difficult. What might be difficult here is upcoming. We're in a 4-lane road. We're heading north. We're in the westernmost lane. Pretty dynamic situation. Cars everywhere. There's a motorcycle. Those things kind of drive me nuts. Of course, they're not wearing their helmets. Why wear a helmet? You just hold on. Don't really need a helmet on a motorcycle on a dangerous road. So there's that. Ego's got them on here. Let's see. It looked like they almost visualized them twice. I almost want to take it out of beta because this drives me nuts because I don't know what this guy's going to do. For a second there, I almost thought Ego was trying to get over, and it might be trying to get over because we need to make a right-hand turn in 1.8 miles, but I don't want to be anywhere near this motorcycle. So now as a human, I would actually slow down and just get in behind them since I have to make the right turn. Oh boy. Hopefully they just stay there. Good job, motorcycle guy with no helmet. And now we are free to get over here a little easier. I actually just went ahead and hit the right turn stalk. We've got 1.5 miles. Actually, in reality, I can just drive around all of these people. But being in front of the motorcycle is good enough. And we'll kick our speed up a little bit so that hopefully they don't catch us before we make our turn. But yeah, that's where, with my family in the car, no steering wheel, like level 4, level 5, that stuff is years away, even in a situation like that where I'm just worried about one motorcyclist not paying any attention. Listen, if your level of intellect is such that you're going to ride up this street with no helmet, then I don't put it past you to make a really silly move on that motorcycle and make it so that we all have a pretty bad day. Probably, especially you, but so now the motorcycle's right behind us. never actually look at this. Does it show that? Well, it doesn't show a motorcycle. It shows a car. Oh, there it does. It did show a motorcycle. How about that? I guess I never really play with this because I'm too busy driving. But it looked like it did actually have a visualization. We also have the ability to just look. And it's hard to tell. But it is way back there. So our right-hand turn is coming up here. It turns, even though it's 50 miles an hour here, I think when we make the turn, it's like 25 miles an hour. So the car slows itself down. I might just gun it or take it out of that because it report a disengagement. It's not safe, but more importantly, it's not fun. Just taking it at 25 miles an hour and everyone blowing by you is just not cool. Speaking of blowing by you, it looks like there's a black Model 3 about to pass. Let's see if they try to get brave and cut in front of us. Nope. Nice looking car though. Before Chrome delete. Alright, so here's our right. Slowing down. It's a continuous right turn though, so is the car going to know that? No. So I'm hitting the accelerator. There are some blockers here. What do you call those things? It recognized them. And this is where... Alright, maybe it didn't... Oh, it does go to 25, so that's not fun. So I'm just going to gun it. And now it recognized the right speed, so now it's going to let me go a little faster. Alright, not the worst. For some reason, it just must have... I'm guessing it's map data there that takes it down to 25 miles an hour. And it's obviously unbearable. And now this has happened before on this road. Yeah, it's doing it again. I was just going to say we're turning right in 1.3 miles, but it gets into this lefternmost lane. Is that a word? Leftmost lane. Definitely, I don't think was because it saw these cars up here on the side of the road. I think that was just a coincidence because it's still, like I said, it's done this before. But we just have to get over it now in a mile to turn right. So I'm not quite sure why it does that. Pothole. Oh, I should have disengaged and avoided that pothole. That was really dumb. That was really dumb. I'm going to take the L on that one. I said the word pothole, but didn't do anything about the pothole. So, good job. All right, got to get over in 0.9 miles. What is Ego going to do? We've got two cars here. If we slow down, we could just fit in a little pocket behind them. Of course, they don't have anywhere to go, and there is a car. That's a cool view. I didn't know I could do that. There's a car behind us, so coming up on... Ooh, did the screen just flash out there? Did we just lose Beta for a second? Half mile to make our right-hand turn. Ooh, does it think it could speed up here and get into this little pocket? Let's see. No, I'm not going to initiate. Not initiating. I'm about to initiate. I don't know why it's not initiating. You got to make a right here, robot. Oh, man, I'm going to screw this up. Oh, wow, it's going to get lucky. That car up there was making a right. I mean, is it not going to make my turn? All right, I'm going to initiate. So I initiated that. I initiated that lane change. I have no idea. Matter of fact, wow. Okay, so it just... So Ego really screwed up there. Is it... Well, I was trying to force another disengagement so that I could report it, but I think we're too close to the destination now. It's not going to let me report it. That was very disappointing. So I don't know what it was doing. With less than 0.2 of a mile, then 1/10 of a mile to go to our destination, it just stayed in the left-hand lane. It didn't. First of all, it didn't get into the right lane, and then I put it in the right lane, and then it instantly tried to get out of the right lane and go in the left lane, making it impossible to make our right-hand turn. I wish I screwed that up because I didn't get a chance to report that disengagement, and I don't think I'm able to. Once you're so close to a destination, it doesn't give us that option, which is disappointing. But that's an example of the good with the bad. Here we saw very clearly that there's plenty of room for improvement. So hopefully Tesla picks up on this. Hopefully TSLAQ doesn't try to pounce on it. But unlike the TSLAQ folks, I tell both sides of the story. For them, it's all vaporware, which you can clearly see here. It is not all vaporware. Thanks for watching.